The thought in the design around the panel for Bridgewater here came to me based on the historic significance of the area for my people and especially my family. So I thought the best way to portray it would be the fact that the river was incredibly important to my people by means of being able to canoe up and down the river, to be able to fish on the river. Um, if I think back of what it may have looked like, I can see wigwams on either side of the river spanning a long distance. The close proximity to the ocean itself as well made it an ideal location because you have the fresh water, which was very important, but you also have the ocean, which was equally important as well. So this would have been most likely a year-round encampment site, not just seasonal. There's a couple areas in Nova Scotia where there's evidence of the year-round villages, basically, and this is something if archaeological research and things were done a little bit more here, I think they'd be surprised to see that that's probably the case, that this was a very important location. The river itself is very important.
I remember as a kid sitting over here in the car, or just little, with my grandparents, and out here in the river, you could see the salmon jumping, and they were grilts or young salmon, but it was neat for me because they'd come clear out of the water and shake and go back in, and it was wonderful to see that back then. It's unfortunate you don't see it today. My great grandfather Louis Labrador, he apparently he had rights to this area for guiding, and his name is Louis Labrador, and I did a talk here several years ago and a lady came up to me and presented me with a photo. And at the time, I didn't know who it was, but it said Louis Labrador, 1907. And a little bit of story went with the photo. He did work for the owner of the Davison Lumber Company, and there was a lumber company here, mill called the Davison Lumber. And Louis, my great grandfather, would take the children of this owner into the forest and teach them things about the forest. And in 1907, he caught the first salmon on the LaHave River, and it was recorded. And I'm sure there's information in history that's there that we just haven't found yet.
This is a fantastic piece of art, but more than that, it's a piece of education. It's important that we acknowledge that there were people here long before anyone arrived from Europe. And it's about more than just saying that we're in Mi'kma'ki. It's reminding people that we are, that where we work and where we live now is Mi'kma'ki. And this park, it has to be more than just a symbolic name. It has to be something that really reminds the community of that. And so having this piece here, this gorgeous piece of art with information for people to learn is key to that.
I'm Cheryl Fuzier, Downtown Planning Advisory Committee Chair. We're very thankful once again to have Melissa to do this artwork. I think when we look at projects and how we can bring people to the downtown, it's important to remember the history part.
Along here, anywhere where there's rapids, our ancestors would have been living, or because where there's rapids and rough water, they could spear the salmon as the salmon was trying to go up the river. So it would have been probably not far from here that our people would live. But again, this was our highway. You know, we travel up and down here with the birchbark canoes. Birchbark canoe was the vehicle, and the waterways were our highways for thousands of years. It's wonderful to see this here in Bridgewater, and we have a canoe, an actual canoe, very similar to that